Every week, it's said that we ingest a credit card's worth of plastic. While that image might sound exaggerated, science is rapidly closing the gap between shocking metaphor and reality. For years, we assumed these tiny fragments, microplastics, and their even more elusive cousins, nanoplastics, passed harmlessly through our bodies. No harm done, right? But the latest research is painting a much darker picture. Not only are microplastics accumulating in our tissues, but they're showing up in the one place we thought was untouchable, the human brain. Imagine this. You reach for a bottle of water on a hot day, not realizing that with each sip, you're also taking in a dose of invisible particles and chemicals. These particles, shed from the bottle itself, act as silent hitchhikers. Unlike the food you eat or the air you breathe, which your body can typically filter or expel, these plastics are engineered to be resilient. They don't dissolve, don't degrade, and, most alarmingly, don't always leave. Recent studies, including groundbreaking research published in early 2025, have revealed that concentrations of microplastics in human brain tissue can be up to 30 times higher than in other organs like the liver or kidneys. In people diagnosed with dementia, the plastic load was found to be 10 times greater than in those without such diagnoses. So, what does it mean that our brains are absorbing and accumulating these foreign materials? First, consider that the brain is protected by the blood-brain barrier, a complex system designed to keep harmful substances out. This barrier is so selective that even many medications can't cross it. Yet, evidence now shows that nanoplastics can breach this defense. Animal studies, particularly those involving mice exposed to polystyrene nanoplastics, have demonstrated increased permeability of the blood-brain barrier. In response, the brain's immune cells, known as microglia, become activated, launching an inflammatory reaction that can ultimately damage neurons. This is not a small concern. Chronic neuroinflammation and neuronal damage are hallmarks of diseases like Alzheimer's and Parkinson's. But what about mental health, specifically mood disorders like bipolar disorder? To answer this, we have to take a step back and look at the chemicals that ride along with these plastic particles. Plastics are made with a range of additives, most notoriously bisphenol A, BPA, and phthalates. These are classified as endocrine-disrupting chemicals, or EDCs. The endocrine system is your body's hormonal command center, regulating everything from growth and metabolism to stress response, and, crucially, mood. EDCs can mimic or interfere with natural hormones, scrambling the communication network between body and brain. BPA, for example, can imitate estrogen, while phthalates have been shown to affect testosterone levels. The disruption of hormonal balance, especially during crucial periods of development such as pregnancy or early childhood, has been linked to a higher risk of behavioral and mood disorders. Research has already established connections between EDC exposure and increased rates of anxiety, depression, and cognitive difficulties in children. Think of it like throwing off the timing of a finely tuned orchestra. One instrument out of sync can throw the entire performance into discord. In the brain, this manifests as imbalances in neurotransmitters such as dopamine and serotonin, both of which play a central role in mood regulation. Bipolar disorder is a complex, multifactorial condition. Genetics play a significant part, but environmental triggers are also essential to its development. The core features of bipolar disorder, dramatic mood swings, periods of mania and depression, are closely tied to the brain's ability to regulate neurotransmitters and to maintain a stable, inflammation-free environment. The hypothalamic pituitary adrenal HPA axis, a major hormonal stress response system, is often overactive in people with bipolar disorder. Endocrine disruption, combined with chronic neuroinflammation from persistent microplastic exposure, forms a plausible, if not yet proven, risk pathway. Still, it's important to be clear. As of now, no scientific study has established a direct causal link between drinking water from plastic bottles and developing bipolar disorder. The current science doesn't support the claim that microplastics or plastic-derived chemicals alone can trigger such a profound mental health condition. However, the building blocks are there. We know microplastics can amass in the brain and incite inflammation. We know EDCs can alter hormone signaling and neurotransmitter balance. And we know that both neuroinflammation and hormonal disruption are implicated in the biology of mood disorders. What science is telling us now is that there may be a new silent risk factor at play. The same way that air pollution or heavy metal exposure can tip the scales for people genetically predisposed to mental illness, chronic exposure to microplastics and their chemical stowaways could potentially increase vulnerability to mood instability. Is your plastic water bottle the sole cause of bipolar disorder? No, but could it be one of many environmental contributors that, over a lifetime, chip away at the brain's resilience? The evidence, while not yet definitive, is mounting. So, what can you do to protect yourself? The first step is awareness. Understanding that plastics are not just a pollution problem, but a public health concern is crucial. Opt for alternatives, stainless steel or glass water bottles, for example. When possible, use high-quality water filters, especially those designed to remove microplastics. Avoid heating food in plastic containers, as heat dramatically increases the leaching of chemicals into your food. Be mindful of hidden plastics in everyday items, from disposable coffee cups to the bags your tea comes in. Cleaning up your environment at home matters too. Microplastics don't just come from bottles and packaging. They're also shed from synthetic fabrics, furniture, and even carpets. Regular cleaning with a vacuum equipped with a HEPA filter can help reduce what you and your family breathe in. The bottom line is this: while the jury is still out on whether drinking from plastic bottles can directly cause bipolar disorder, it's clear that microplastics and their chemical companions are getting into places in our bodies they simply don't belong. They're accumulating in our brains, stirring up inflammation, and disrupting our hormonal and neurological balance. The risk is real, even if the full picture isn't yet in focus. By making small, manageable changes, choosing safer materials, filtering your water, and keeping your environment clean, you take meaningful steps to lower your exposure. It's not about living in fear, but about taking back control in a world increasingly saturated with plastic. Every little choice adds up, protecting not just your body, but your mind as well. Your health is worth the effort. If you found this video helpful, please consider leaving us a like so it can be shared with others. Then subscribe to our channel and leave us a comment. Thank you for watching.